All right, we're on the ground, New York City, nice and early, JD Power Auto Forum, and we've already had so many hugs and handshakes and great conversations with dealer principals and leaders of companies, and the event hasn't even started yet.
Tom Castriota literally almost tackled me.
I saw it. He was coming from behind you. You didn't see it. But we want to give a special thanks to LiftKit, who sponsored our coverage here this year at the JD Power Auto Forum. We're going to bring in somebody that has something to do with LiftKit. Should we bring him in now? What are we doing?
Bring him in.
Come on.
He's the guy.
Guest of honor.
Oh, there's the guy.
It's Michael Cirillo with Sodu Flex LiftKit.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Actually, we never do this on the show, but
LiftKit
is probably a lot of people heard that term for the first time.
LiftKit.
So, yeah, why don't you talk about LiftKit for like 20 seconds?
LiftKit is a single source of truth for all inventory data. So, you know that problem where you're like, hey, how come I have rogue units on that website that haven't existed on our lot? What we do is we ingest all of your data, all of your inventory data, we clean it, normalize it, so we map it to the right stock number, and then we send it out in the format of whatever platform you need it to be sent out with. We've got APIs and we've got all of that sort of stuff to speak immediately to the platform.
That was great. That was great.
A couple people interested in that. So obviously programming is about to start here. Have a lot of big names: Senator Bernie Moreno, Randy Parker. We got
Mike Cottone from
names.
From Volvo, John Bozzella, Automotive Alliance.
Oh, we got to catch up with him, John. He's
Tom
a riot.
Dahl is going to be here.
Wow.
They've got him on the schedule as retired, but
the
obviously
godfather
not yet.
of OEM brand building.
Right.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Okay.
They should have put that on the
You should
schedule.
get into branding.
But if you ever meet him, he seems about as least like the Godfather as you can imagine.
That's exactly
He's the
right.
guy you want to sit in an Irish pub with and have a couple drinks with.
Yeah, so if you're paying attention live, we'll be shooting a lot of content, interviewing a lot of these people. Make sure and follow us along on LinkedIn, on social. Follow us what we're doing today, and we'll make sure and share everything that we possibly can about the conversations had here at the JD Power Auto Forum.
All right, we have two stories.
Let's go.
I'm going to go to the first one, then I'm going to hand you the microphone.
All right.
Oh, see, we're doing the phone thing. I hope today, too. I think we have stories from today and not last
They're
month.
from today.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
I'm gonna lose it.
Listen, if you didn't watch it, go back and watch yesterday's show where
It was sublime.
we ran a story from last month, and I was like, you heard it here last, and Michael couldn't get a breath in edgewise. Why can I not find this? Oh, there it is. Here we go.
There it is.
President Trump considering exemptions. This just announced to steep auto part tariffs to ease the transition for car makers, shifting supply chains back to the U.S. This could offer short-term relief for manufacturers, and markets took notice yesterday. Trump's basically saying he may delay tariffs on some of these imported parts. Automakers saying immediate tariffs would trigger layoffs and price hikes. So that's like kind of the back and forth of it. Shares of Ford, GM, and Stellantis rallied after these comments. The 25% vehicle tariff and upcoming parts tariffs are part of his American manufacturing push. Very eloquently, Trump said they need a little bit more time because they're going to make them here.
Yeah, I think this was all over the news yesterday. It was all over the markets. We've got
all over the news.
All over the news. All over the markets.
Look who just wandered in.
Steve, you actually were probably paying attention to President Trump yesterday talking about tariffs
I always
yet
pay
again.
attention to him. I always
Exactly.
pay attention. I hang on his every word.
Well, it's good article. It's good article fodder, right? There's something to write about.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how many JD Power forums have you been to?
This is only like the third, I think.
You were here last year.
I think this is one of my, other than ASOTACon, of course.
Well,
This is one of my favorite conferences, actually.
really?
Yeah,
Why?
I really think the insights that they get and the content they carry on stage is really, really powerful.
Easy to get to. One
Yeah,
day,
well, relatively,
in and out.
in and out. Yeah.
Relatively, right?
Yeah, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Maybe not in California.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I know. Well,
No, I agree that, I mean, you just look at the list here today, it's stacked.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really good stuff.
they were saying attendance is probably 30% over what it was. This is going to be my favorite part right here.
don't mind us. We're just working over here. You know?
I love it. I saw it coming all the way down. It was a long walk. So basically, they were saying attendance is about 30% up over last year, expecting 600 this year. So
Oh, wow.
there's obviously a heightened interest on what's going on right now and this level of insight. So
Yeah. I have no idea if we'll get any additional insights today about tariffs, but I mean, I gotta imagine everyone's like freaking out and saying, well, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
You know, Audi's holding cars at the port. Should I be selling my Audis or should I be holding on? And,
Right.
and when do I start implementing price increases? Because I in my local market, I don't want to be the first dealer to implement price increases, but I don't want to be the last.
Right.
And I don't want to run out of inventory.
where's the sweet spot? Senator Moreno did Q&A at a dinner last night, and we heard he answered questions and spoke for about an hour plus. So there's obviously a lot of communication coming from the White House on tariffs. From a car guy, it'll be interesting to hear what he says from the stage
This afternoon,
today.
yeah, exactly right. I think his session is titled "Entering the Golden Age of Automotive."
Is it really?
I believe so. Like, fingers crossed.
How optimistic.
You got the talking points.
There you go. Well,
There you
can't
go.
wait to hear. Good to see you. We'll
Good to see you
catch up
guys.
with you 20 other times today.
Thanks, everybody. See you later.
What a guy.
I mean, it's
That was perfect.
I don't
That's
think.
all we
I think
needed.
we're on to our second story.
We're on to our second story.
Good commentary on this
There
one.
was this really interesting story this morning that covers that insurance premiums on Teslas are literally growing 3 times faster than the rest of the market, fueled by high repair costs and increased vandalism. Despite Tesla's efforts, the financial hit is landing squarely on their owners' wallets. And this isn't like Tesla insurance outside of Tesla. This is Tesla's
This is their
insurance
captive
company.
insurance
This is their
company.
captive insurance. Jumped 22 to 29% across key models. The Model Y seeing the steepest rise, nearly 3 times the national average. And their own body shops, like the Tesla body shops, haven't eased any premium hikes. Average 2025 insurance cost for a Model 3. You ready for this? $4,300 a year
Model 3?
for a Model 3.
You owned a Model 3, didn't you?
I did
That
own a
is
Model 3.
anymore.
Wild.
I don't
Do you
own a
remember
Model
what
3.
your insurance cost when you owned it?
Well, I wasn't going through Tesla's insurance, but I can imagine if I was, they would take into consideration how often my wife drove over the lawn when pulling into the driveway. And I have to imagine that is also being factored in because they can track your driving habits and your driving behavior
built
and
in.
all the
Right,
sensors.
It's almost worse.
You have to,
Yeah, it's almost
it'd be
worse.
worse for me.
That's like one of the. Have
They,
you
they
noticed
have,
that though?
they have
I mean,
cameras for your curb rash.
Yes,
Right?
everything.
Every Tesla has curb
yes.
rash. Every
Oh,
single
every
one.
single
I
one of
agree.
them.
Yeah.
As a former wheel guy, I
Former
noticed,
wheel guy
I
dream.
noticed
It's your dream.
curb rash everywhere in every Tesla.
So
I have.
basically what I'm getting at is I want to know, in that vandalism number, how much of it is self-inflicted vandalism from... no. See you guys later.
See ya. Drop the mic. Drop the mic. Well, and this is like one of those education pieces when you start looking at like the cost of ownership across every single vehicle right now is being put under scrutiny because it's the first time the talking point has been front and center for a very long time. When people are trying to consider EV cost of ownership, they're thinking about insurance, which is also impacting hybrids and battery, and those shopper behaviors are starting to change. So when you start thinking about like, what is the customer considering when they're coming in the door? They're not just considering, am I going to buy that car, but what is the cost of the insurance? What is the cost of the ownership? Like that's in the headlines. So be aware that your consumers, whether they're looking at an EV or not, are thinking about that.
I mean, it's just another hit for a company that's been on the ropes, and this definitely isn't helping. I think things will normalize, but $4,300 for a Model 3. Let's roll the outro
Roll it.
music. We have sessions to get into. It's getting really that awkward, quiet level, so we got to get in there. Again, thank you to LiftKit. Thank you to LiftKit for... Did I just...
you.
Bam.
We'll be back with you in a little bit.